I think one of the most moving experiences was we were helping the Missionaries of Charity with transporting different patients who had been injured from one hospital to other hospitals where there were teams of doctors that could address specifically what the injuries were. And one situation, the sister came to me and asked me to go with her, was in one sense unrelated to the earthquake, but it just speaks to the underlying issues that the Haitian people face all the time, and the earthquake just made this worse. This was an 11-year-old who had been in the houses are one room, basically, and they have these kerosene, they light their fires by kerosene. And she had accidentally spilled kerosene on her, and her mother wasn't aware of it and went to light the fire, and she basically just went into flames. And so this little 11-year-old has burns all over her arms, all over her legs. And we're transporting her to this children's hospital where at that time they were a Pan-American team of physicians were there. And it just was there were many things that were very moving, but that really got to me because this little 11-year-old, it was the pathos of the situation, the pathos of just, she was calling out for her mother, and we took her, and the beauty of the various different teams from all over the country. I mean, there was the United States, there was at that time a lot from Latin America, and they were just so wonderful, these doctors, and they immediately responded. You know, they said, "Sister, we'll take care of her, don't worry." And in a normal situation, I don't know how available. I mean, there were plastic surgeons there were orthopedic surgeons there, but that was one of the more moving experiences for me. Well, we were sent there. There were four of us, four sister physicians. We went at the request of the Missionaries of Charity. And our whole reason for being there was to be really a support to the missionaries. And our part of being religious is that our apostolate is the fruit of our communion together. Communion begets mission. So our going as a team was very, very important. And one of the things that was asked of us at first was to separate and to go to different places. And we said, no, it's really important that we're together. Is there any place that we can be together and work? And that was very significant, particularly because it kept our life of prayer together, which was absolutely essential. We would come together, we would pray in the morning, separate from the Missionaries of Charity, because their schedule was a little bit different. Then we would have Mass together and then breakfast, and then we would go out and work. And we would come back again in the afternoon with the missionaries and then go back out. And then we would come back for Holy Hour in the evening. And it was so important to be able to pray with one another and also have the support, which is more than just on a natural level, because we were there to be of service to the people, but also to the Missionaries of Charity, to be a support to them, because they had, though none of their sisters were killed, which is unlike other religious communities in Haiti, some of them were injured, and many of them had been traumatized. I mean, they live in situations of, without question, they are always in the midst of a tumultuous situation, whether it's a political upheaval, social, that's where they live and minister. So, and our presence together as religious could support them in that. And that, I think, was one of the greatest gifts we gave, not just the fact that we were physicians and helping them, but really being that religious support. And two of the largest organizations that I would encourage Faith Magazine readers to support are Catholic Relief Services and also Caritas. Catholic Relief Services actually lives in Haiti. They don't just come in when the disaster happens, but they've lived there for as long as the Missionaries of Charity have been there. They're there day in and day out, whether there's an earthquake or not. And they understand the political and social mechanisms that are in place. And you can be very confident that whatever you give to them is going to get to the people and to what is needed. The other effort that I've been very impressed with is the Knights of Columbus have a program where all the money, they're asking for donations to send prosthesis to particularly all the children of Haiti that are in need of them. And that's a huge need because there were so many orthopedic injuries, so many amputations that had to be done. And so the need for both limbs and also rehab services are immense. And the Knights of Columbus have really taken that on. And once again, that is an organization that you can trust is going to get what you have asked to be taken to Haiti and to the need.